Hi, I'm Joy Moore, and I'm a part of the residency from January 13th to April 8th, so I'll be going home soon, and I'm happy and sad. I'm from Houston, and I'm a conceptual artist with a background in sculpture, some performance, and jewelry. And my medium currently is in questions.
My name's Gabrielle Valdez. I'm a current resident from January 13th through April 8th, 2016. I'm a recent graduate from UNL in painting and drawing, and I recently adopted or started picking up printmaking again in the form of monotypes.
I was preparing to come to Bemis. I was thinking about the way I've been working in the past and wanting to do something a little bit different, which is not to immediately jump into a project and just fight through it, but to give things a bit of time to kind of contemplate where I am now. I finished grad school a couple of years ago, so I'm trying not to overlap things that I was doing then as much as things that I need to be doing now. And so when I came in, I had the idea that I was going to do some groundwork, and my current projects involve swimming and doing aquatic projects, so I hit the pool. So there were a lot of tests and process-based work that I was doing, and I'm also looking to doing some sculptural work and performance underwater as well.
I needed to explore the figure in a completely different way than I was used to. I needed to get out of my comfort zone, and the best way to do that was to try a new medium, trying to relearn how to print these things by hand, letting the imperfections and everything that I had been doing for 3 or 4 years kind of go to the back of my brain and not have to think about things. I wanted to start fresh, be as open to the possibilities of the new medium as possible.
Working with the water and kind of the qualities of water fit in a lot with things that I've been thinking about as far as where the boundary between one thing is and another thing is, and approximations in sculpture and physical objects, where the points are when something becomes something else. And so there are things that are a little bit difficult to discuss with people sometimes, and so I wanted to build them out in the studio. And so that's why I have, the mirrors and the glass and objects and things that seem really familiar, but they're not quite that thing, but they're in your periphery. And so I've been working peripherally, quite literally, about the periphery itself, but also in the way that I'm working.
So I came out of UNL back in 2015. I had just finished my MFA in painting and drawing. I had kind of gotten to a point where I didn't know how to approach my subject matter with the media anymore. It was a little bit too deliberate. I think previously I'd addressed the figure in a much more exaggerated. It was more about the features of a person, like either from cell phone photos or some kind of reference point, and using that as a kind of a study of how, what features make this person a person, or, at least from an outside perspective, and how do I examine that and play off of that and make it my own image.
Well, swimming's always been a part of my life since childhood in some way or another. Not actually swimming, but being in a pool, being in the water, like running up the tub when I'm not supposed to, like always with water. But there's certain points in life where your life can be endangered by your interest in the water, but it presented itself with a lot of opportunities for costuming and set design and just working with materials and water. So it's changed the way that I look at things. And so coming here, I know it's landlocked, but I had an idea of kind of working with water while being in Omaha and getting feedback from a lot of the local people. I think especially the way that both of us, from what I'm hearing you say, is that in coming here, instead of having the specific thing that we just had to knock out, our challenge was in undoing things, which I think is actually really kind of tough, especially that's usually the opposite direction that a lot of people are going in when you go to something. It's like you come in with these plans. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this thing, and it's going to be like this. And that's great if that's where that person is, that point that they've gotten to. But I think especially since, you just got out, and I've recently graduated as well, and that's a point where you kind of need to find out who you are again and how you want to work, whether you've just been doing something or that's the place to go.
I didn't want to continue the same thing. I wanted to go completely different, in a different space, but kind of have that kind of energy of somebody kind of continuing the process around me. And I figured that would help me kind of stabilize, okay, I'm doing something right. Things aren't, like, I'm getting good feedback from these people. Like, it's a good working environment to have, like, everyone else around me kind of pushing forward and being okay with what I'm doing and kind of having that dialogue. So that was important to me to have that kind of confidence going in that, okay, this is going completely off of what I'm used to, but it's not completely falling apart on me either, I guess.
I think kind of what you were saying earlier about how you're working and you're doing your thing, but then everyone else has these different ways and intensities of how they work. But in the middle of it, you have this opportunity to kind of talk and discuss things, and perhaps you're not at a stage to do this thing yourself now, but there's someone else here who is or has already done it. And so part of the benefit of being in the residency is that you can kind of mine from other people things that maybe you might want to approach in the future, or things that you just might want to go the opposite direction from. So part of the vulnerability is being able to kind of hold down your own practice, although it might not match with what else is going around you, because you have no idea what kind of energy or what else is happening for other people.